Today I'm talking with Leah McKendrick, writer-director of the new Netflix movie Voicemails for Isabelle. It's a wonderful movie that's half about the bond between sisters that can't be broken even after death, and half an adorable feel-good romantic comedy. The characters aren't bubbly caricatures, but realistic humans while still being fun to watch. It helps that they're played by total cuties Zoe Deutsch and Nick Robinson. We talk about all aspects of the movie, from how the script evolved over time to the secret of why that Nick Robinson is just so damned dreamy. Have a look. I think you'll enjoy it. And if you do, let me know with a like, subscribe, maybe leave a comment, and check out the rest of my channel. There's a lot of interviews there, and I'm uploading more all the time. Alright, that's enough from me. This is Leah McKendrick. I'm very upset at you because you made me cry in front of my mom.
Yay! I'm not upset at me. I'm happy for me and your mom. I
Um,
love to cry.
Honestly, me too. I go in, they send like the trailer and the log line and everything, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch the movie. Let me just watch it. And I watch
Yeah,
it, and I'm like, oh, Ciara Bravo, I love her. I don't know
she's
if
the
you remember
best.
Wayne, but that's like my favorite TV show of all time.
Oh my God, it's so good. And Greg Coolidge is a very close friend of mine who did Wayne and a mentor of mine. And that was my first time meeting her. And I was like, I feel like she looks like my sister. I feel like her and I could be related. And I just have always loved her since Wayne.
Yeah. And then she dies.
And then I killed her. I know. I'm sorry. That was I do blame me for that one.
Okay. It's okay. It works. It sets up the whole movie. I mean, to that. Okay, first, let's go back. So you wrote and directed this,
Yep.
but it was in some kind of kernel of production before that. So like, do you get like the log line and Netflix says, "Here's a bunch of money, make a movie"? Like, what's the process of turning it from a project into a movie?
I mean, it's a long process. It was at it ki- it's been such an odyssey. I will say Netflix read the script. There was an original draft of the script that I had to let go of and give up on because I just was like, it's never gonna happen. And it was the one that got away. It was so dear to me and so painful to not have it get made that I couldn't even think about it, but it was the one that I always thought someday someone is going to save it and say yes, and that was Netflix. And Netflix went and got it for me and said you're going to direct it. So it was this kind of really triumphant Hollywood miracle.
Now, this movie, I mean, I can see why it's so close to your heart because it has such a unique, difficult tone. Where on one
Yeah.
hand, this is terribly reductive, but like a sad girl movie,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
then on the other hand, it's like this adorable, sweet, broad rom com,
Yes.
and you do both of them so well in
Oh,
the same
thank
movie,
you.
and I don't know how. So my question is, how?
I mean, I think I am both those things. I am a sad girl and I have a very like emo side to me and I love to cry. And then I'm also a pop girly that wants to dance in her room to Robin and dreams of being going everywhere, doing everything, falling in love over and over. Like it's I think an amalgamation of my different personalities, but also I'm just very instinctual with my work. It's one movie when you're writing it, it's another movie when you're shooting it, another movie when you're editing it. And I think I had actors that were down to play, and we did a bunch of different versions and we shot it many different ways. And then you just kind of fine tune it, but it's still a leap of faith. You never really know if it's all gonna land. And we definitely did some testing and seeing what the bigger laughs were. And we had to really tighten because I shot a lot, and the assembly cut was 3.5 hours long. So there was a
Might
lot
be
of
a little
fine.
long for a rom com.
It was a little long. I thought it was. an incredible cut. I didn't want to cut a single frame, but I was like, I don't think anybody will be with me on this one. I think I gotta cut it down.
You got to kill some babies.
Gotta kill some babies. I killed some
Is
babies.
there a particular baby that you can share the death of?
Yeah, there's an
Oh, forgive me.
incredible performance of sexual healing by Zoe dancing in her kitchen. I mean, ki dancing in her bathroom while cooking in her kitchen, singing sexual healing, and she's like ready to get it on with Wes, and then he's listening. He's hearing her sing sexual healing, and it's really awkward and cute. Um, but I think we ran the risk of feeling grossed out by him still listening to the voicemails that far into the film. And it was the first time where he stopped. You saw him go too far and for the first time turn it off. But we didn't feel we needed it. So we just went from the sightseeing tour bus straight to the dinner, but it would have been after the sightseeing tour bus, and then the dinner would have gone right between those scenes.
So speaking of like the editing and balancing the tones, are there like different cuts of this movie in your vault that no one's ever going to see? Like, is there a
Oh
version
yeah.
that's just like tremendously sad? It's Steel Magnolias, and there's a version where, oh, it turns out Ciara just had gas. She's fine.
Oh my gosh, no. No, I will say all of the cuts you a naked eye would be like, what's the difference? But it's mostly some of them have different jokes. I'd say we did a lot of joke alts. A lot of Offerman hilarious stuff, a lot of Arthur hilarious stuff it was like too much of a good thing and I was having too much fun with them and I think ultimately it's like it's Jill's movie. So we're like how can we have the tightest version of these scenes in the kitchen that create the tension, create the hilarity, but maybe don't overstay.
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, you can see someone saying, "Why do you have to shoot so much?" Well, it's because you got to have too much fun so you can whittle it down to like the pure best moments, right?
That's how I feel. I think some filmmakers are like razor focused and they know exactly what they want and they do one or two takes and then they move on. I'm somebody that's like I like to play. I like to get my actors there and throw ideas at them and see what comes of it and that's just how I work because I don't really know. I have an idea of what it is, but until you have your actors and they're in the space, it can become something better than you ever imagined.
Now, I love Zoe and Nick in this, and I want to talk about them in a moment. But first, you starred in Scrambled, which you also wrote and directed. Is there a version of this where you wanted to play the lead, or did you really want to hone your craft behind the camera as well?
You know, when I wrote it, I always knew my Jill was out there. And sometimes I'll write something and I'm like, this is for me. This is for whatever reason, I know that this is my character. I never felt that with Jill. I was just like, she's coming and and I'm gonna find her. And then I was like, it's Zoe. So it was very hard to get Zoe out of my mind.
Um, that the single greatest movie dress is the black and red polka dots at the apartment.
Isn't it so cute?
Gorgeous.
They're little tomatoes, I think.
They are? I thought they were just polka
Yeah.
dots.
No, I
Okay.
know they look like polka dots, but when you get up close, I'm pretty sure they're little tomatoes.
Yeah, I
It's
was
so
like, I thought that
cute.
I thought they were hearts for a moment.
I know. Yeah. Nope. Tomatoes, because she's a little chef.
Of course.
Isn't it
Um,
cute?
oh, they could have been kumquats.
They could have been kumquats. If there had been a kumquat dress, you know I would have gotten
That might be too
it.
niche.
Maybe. You're right. Two on the nose. You're right. You're right.
Now, you knew it was Zoe. Do you, so was the film cast around Zoe, or do you cast Zoe and Nick like together? Do they read off each other? Was there a nationwide hunt for for like that one true pair?
Yeah, well, Zoe was cast, and then it was a hunt for the West. And I met with a lot of incredible actors. I mean, I was so lucky to have met with so many great actors. Um, but there was really something that I couldn't describe with Nick. I felt when he would smile, I felt like I was a high school girl again, falling in love. There was something very pure and very nostalgic, and I just felt like a girl, and it was girlhood looking at him, and that young desire, and I just a longing, and I went, whatever that is coming up for me as an engaged woman that's almost 40, I was like, that is what I need. That's what I need. And they had a history. Zoe and Nick have known each other since they were teenagers, and she had a crush on him when they were young. And so you can't really fabricate that trust and that history and that bond. So it was just kind of written in the stars.
I guess you can tell a lot by someone by like their smile, the earnestness, or
Yeah.
what.
And he has
So
such a sincerity to him as a human and as a performer. It's who he really is. He doesn't lie.
how about this?
Yeah,
That
you
anything? Anything?
also don't lie, Zach. Yeah, I felt a lot there. I felt
Yes.
like a junior high girl falling in love for the first time.
All right. Thank you. um. So you've got these two, and then you know when you're developing the script, there's some parts like is the job interchangeable? Was it always a chef? Or did you experiment with other potential endpoints, or was it always that? Was it always San Francisco?
No, you're hitting on the two biggest changes in the script. Both the city's changed and the entire employment situation, job, professional world changed. So originally, she was from New York, moved to LA to be a TV writer. That was the
Huh.
original setup, right? And keep in mind, this is me writing a script just from my heart. No one knew that I was writing this. I just wrote it on my own. And so I'm not thinking of the parameters that are usually put on you as a studio filmmaker because I wasn't one yet. I had sold one TV show and I was working on that at the time. But I wasn't used to. There are some no-nos within the realm of studio filmmaking, and I know a lot of those now, but I didn't back then. So I'm just writing something straight from my heart and a lot from my life because I'm a screenwriter. So of course I'm going to write her moving to LA and being a screenwriter. And my sister at the time was in college in New York. So that was sort of, I thought of it is I'm in LA, my sister's in New York, and I'm struggling in Hollywood. So it was super close to my real life, right? Um, but they a lot of times studios don't love movies about Hollywood. It feels too inside baseball or like niche, and they want things to be a little more accessible. So that was one of the first things that came up for question. And then when it came to Netflix, they didn't want LA and New York. They felt that they are overshot and that it's just been done. And I said, then I want my hometown. I want my hometown. I want to shoot in San Francisco. And so there was a lot of conversations because I felt strongly she's not going to leave her sister if it's not for an impossible dream. Her sister is sick. Her sister is the love of her life. She's not leaving unless, and people understand that Hollywood is this like impossible dreams, right? So there was a discussion. And then we thought about the culinary world because San Francisco is such a food city. And I was so freaked out by that because I was like, I don't know anything about working in a kitchen. I don't know how to bake. I don't know how to do any of this. So I watched all of Great British Bake Off. I watched The Bear, and I really started to think how what's my entryway into this world. And what really inspired me was I was reading up chef lore on Twitter, which is now X, and they were talking
Is it
about
though?
how is it though? I guess on paper, but to you and me, it's Twitter. And they were saying how isn't it interesting that when cooking is a woman's job, is in the kitchen, when cooking is in the kitchen, it's a woman's job. And when cooking is a profession, it's a man's job.
Huh.
But when you ask any celebrity male chef who his favorite cook is, he will always say, my mom. So I thought, oh, that's interesting because it mirrored the writer's room that I had written, which was an all-male writer's room where they were mansplaining and she was the only chick. And I thought, that's interesting. I can translate what I had, the spirit of what I had into the culinary world, and then I can keep my hometown.
Um, I should know this, but your sister's alive, right?
My sister's alive and
Okay.
well and healthy. It was more just inspired by my love for my sister. And I think I have a bad habit of like, I don't know if it's a bad habit or if it's just like self-preservation where I will write my worst fears into my films.
Kill your darlings.
A little bit, right? And I think it's just a way of like exploring worst case scenario and what that could be like. And then rather than living a life that's in constant fear, trying to turn my neuroses into something beautiful.
I mean, I will tell you, speaking of neuroses, I've done hundreds of interviews, and that was the most goosebumps I've had asking a question. Because I was
What?
like, this could go wrong real bad if you're like, no, my sister's dead. How do you not know that?
How
Good
do you
grief.
not know that my sister is dead? Wait, I should do if somebody asks me that, I'm gonna say that next time and see, see how
Wait,
that goes. Just unravels the entire interview.
what what is the longest that you've had a voicemail on your phone?
Oh my God, years. Years
Yeah?
and years. I have yeah, I mean I love voicemails. Even to this day, even as it's a dying art, I love a voicemail and I used to have a lot that I would keep some from my manager telling me he's proud of me. I've kept some from my sister for sure. And I kept one from my dad that was sweet for a long time. I feel like it's really special if it's there to me the words "I'm proud of you" are so meaningful. I don't know if I wasn't told it enough as a child or what it is, but I when sometimes people will come up to me and they'll say, "I don't think I can say this to you because we don't know each other, but I'm proud of you." And I go, "Please say that to me." That's the kindest thing that you can say to me is I'm proud of you.
I mean, as I'm East Coast, mixed race, Latino, first generation on my mom's
You're
side.
like me?
I'm proud
Are
of
you
you.
half white, half Latino like
Yeah,
me?
my dad was so overwhelmingly white, that's why I look like this. But my mom is from Honduras and she's in the other room.
Shut
And
up. My mom is from Nicaragua and my dad is so white and gringo like your dad.
so you
Wait,
understand why I'm so proud of you.
oh, thank you, Zach. That's so nice. I'll bet you your mama is proud of me too. You tell her about me.
She is.
You
I
make
mean,
sure you make sure she's proud of me.
it's not personal, but she didn't cry during the movie, but I've also never seen her cry.
I
Like
don't think my mom
ever.
cried either. I'm not gonna lie. Those Latino women, they are a tough audience, man.
I've
But then
tried. Like
I'll get them.
I've shown her like as much like tragic animal movies and
I
nothing.
know.
She's too
They got to
strong.
be tough in this world, man. They got to be tough.